Welcome to our Kickoff Continuing Ed webinar. We're going to go through some don'ts and do's, some new things that have changed, particularly over the summer, but certainly in the last 9-10 months, alert you to some interesting new pitfalls and new opportunities to help you succeed at SEO. So we're kind of kicking off this whole idea of continuing education. Everybody is busy. Everybody's got their real job, their regular job, and then on top of that, now we have this new responsibility, get our company to the top of Google. If we're managing AdWords, understand, what's going on, the whole enhanced campaigns thing, and then social media. Gosh, we didn't have enough to do. Now we've got to do Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Instagram. So sort of help motivated people have an hour out of their busy day update you on tips and tricks as we go through. We'll do lots of hands-on step-by-step stuff, and today we're going to start with sort of big picture SEO changes that have occurred in the last 3 to 9 months. So our agenda, we're going to start with the negative. We're going to start with the don'ts. There are some new gotchas going on in SEO. We deal with lots of clients, lots of students, lots of people who've taken our classes, and I have personally alerted many of them and said, oh, watch out, you're doing something that's very dangerous. It used to not be dangerous, but guess what, now it is. Then we'll go to sort of the positive things. Google and Bing, to a lesser extent, have created some new opportunities, some things to be aware of, and then we'll kind of conclude with my motivational minute there about never stop learning, staying abreast of all these fun-filled changes. Okay, so 2013, there's that sort of Chinese proverb, live in interesting times, right? We live in a very interesting time. For whatever reason, the sleeping giant of Google has been awakened, and really this has been a very exciting 9 months in a sort of good and bad way. Google has suddenly kind of gone on the warpath over certain SEO features, and they've rolled out a lot of changes out there. So some are negative and some are positive, but this is really a year, last 3 months, you need to pay attention. Some big things have changed. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Penguin. Google is naming all of these changes sort of after animals. So, you used to think penguins were nice, and they're not anymore. So Penguin really has been rolling out here since April 2012. And I look at it like a Google watcher. We want to think, what are they going after? What is sort of the philosophy behind what Google is doing? And we've had several people come to us who have been, attacked, nearly killed by the penguin, right? What is it doing? What is Penguin really, what's the philosophy? It's really all about link schemes. So Google is really on the warpath about, stop manipulating inbound links, right? And I'm like, well, what fun would that be if I didn't get to manipulate links, right? So Google is on the warpath, and it's saying we're really kind of sick of people who are manipulating the algorithm through link schemes. And where do we see the big attacks? The first attack that Google made was against low-quality blog networks. So here's your scenario there. Somebody approaches you. I have 500 blogs. We're going to link to your website, best hypnotherapist ever, over and over again. That got crushed about a year ago. Very dangerous these days to do that. Press release SEO. I am a big fan of press releases. I maintain a belief that press releases can really help you with SEO. They've been on the warpath against press releases. Anything that's cheap and easy, they have been attacking. Now, in our little class here, just short and sweet, we're not going to explain how to recover. I just want to make sure you're not touching any, dangerous things. So how do we get on the naughty list? How do you get on the naughty list? If you're doing something, what are your problems? Okay, we're going to go through this in a little bit more detail. First and foremost, participating in low-quality blog networks, buying links, having somebody who has 50,000 blogs or 100 blogs or 1,000 blogs, very low-quality blogs, and they all link back to you in an over-optimized way. They all link back to you with the phrase reverse mortgage. That is your surest way to get on the naughty list, is to be participating in this scam. There are still a lot of people who will send you an email, who will solicit you, and they didn't get the memo that this is really more dangerous than ever. Now, how do you know that you've been hit? You'll see a dramatic drop in your rankings, and it will usually be timed with the update. So February, and then there was a big rollout, I guess, in sort of early August. So you'll see a big drop in your rankings, and you'll see a big drop in your traffic. So that's one clue. We're on the naughty list, and then we've got to figure out how we get off of it. Now let's talk a little bit about over-optimized links. And this is something, again, from consulting that we do, from classes that I teach. I actually just finished my Stanford class this summer, which was awesome. I get a lot of questions. I understand what people are looking at. So let's talk about link structure, a little technical here. So link optimization was when you got a lot of people to link to you over a very specific phrase. So in our case, we do SEO training. We would try to get lots and lots of people to link to us over the phrase SEO training. So blah, 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 reference equals, and this target guy, this guy right here, is the keyword you want to rank on Google. That's an optimized link. Now, they still have a lot of value, but Google is going on the warpath over optimization. We're going to look at that in detail. So that's an optimized link. Now, what other links are there? There's what's called a branded link. Blah, 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 blah. Visit or click on the company name. That's a branded link. Could be the name of your product. That's a branded link. This is not a keyword that people really compete to get to the top of. It's your unique name. And then the final sort of name that you need to understand is what's called a naked link, right? I love SEOs because we have to name everything like he, like we're in junior high here. Naked links, not what you think. Naked links are HTTP links. So link optimization really refers to overdoing this first type of link in your inbound link structure. So what's our takeaway? Negative, positive. What's our takeaway here as we look to the fall, we look to new things, look to ways? You want to be natural. That's what the Google message is. And I am a skeptic, right? They are always telling us, one thing and doing another. I don't believe everything they say. So if you're just natural and do nothing, if you're totally passive, that is not a strategy. So that's kind of what the official message is from Google is do nothing, don't manipulate links, just give us a bunch of money through AdWords. Well, that's not really, come on. That's not fun. That's not effective. So be natural, sort of. By this we mean have some optimized links, but you've got to start building non-optimized links as part of your link portfolio. So you're natural, but not, you're a little bit pushing it. That's the idea. Okay, so what are our don'ts for Penguin? And we're going to look at some examples. So first of all, if you are participating in a blog network, a low-quality blog network, you are in great danger, right? I feel like one of those aliens on Star Trek coming up to Captain Kirk. You are in great danger, right? If you are doing this, you are in great danger. If you are over-optimizing your links, you're building 500 links that all say industrial fan, you're in danger. That is not good. And we're going to talk a little bit about the third guy, which is negative SEO, which is you're making your competitors mad at you and they go rat you out. So let's talk about some don'ts for Penguin. Let's look at what we have. So here's the links. You'll have these links tomorrow through the magic of email. You'll get these links. I have lots of links for you to look at and we'll show some examples. So I just want to sort of show you sort of an example here. So first of all, let's start at Wikipedia. Like once you hear Google Penguin, right? Go Google it. There's a nice little esoteric article about it on Wikipedia that at least give you some idea. If you're not following Matt Cutts is, I think of him as the press secretary of Google. He is the official spin on what's going on. I do not believe everything he says. He's paid by Google. It's the official propaganda of Google. Very important to pay attention to what he's saying. Here's his announcement in May. They gave a lot of warning as to what they were mad about. They gave a lot of warning. So that's another tip for you is to pay attention to Matt Cutts. Okay, now I have an article here on recovery examples. This is just if you've been clobbered, this is really one of the best articles that goes through and explains. So here's an example of what you'll see in your analytics if you've been hit. You'll see this rapid decline in your inbound traffic, and then if you're lucky, you recover. So this is your decline. You want to look for those sparks in your analytics. I'll show you in a second where those would be. Now, let's talk about what is dangerous. Buying links. There are still people out there, text link brokers, sponsorreviews.com. These websites are dangerous because they are right in the crosshairs of Google. So buying links, be careful about that. That's out there. Now, let's talk about link profiles. How do you know if the alien is coming up to you and you are in great danger? How do you know this, right? What's a way to know this? Well, there's some neat little tools. I'm going to show you with Open Site Explorer. I'll show you sort of how to get a sense of this. So let's take a website. So this is onereversemortgage.com. It does pretty well for the searches reverse mortgage. Let's put them into Open Site Explorer. I have the paid edition of the tool. You can use the free edition as well. Okay, this is a report. Let's do that one. This is a report for One Reverse Mortgage. Now what you want to do is put your company into this tool and look at the anchor text. This gets to your optimization. Now look at the optimization of this guy here. Reverse mortgage, reverse mortgage, reverse mortgage, right? Now let's go down here and let's look at the anchor optimization. These are your naked links. So that's a naked link. That's an optimized link. So naked, 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 and look, and that's our company name. That's sort of a branded link. And then look right down here. Now, if you are an algorithm, if you are Google and you look at this, over optimization, many links that say reverse mortgage. Now, they are actually still performing well on Google searches, okay? But the alien is coming to them and saying, you are in great danger because your link profile is very optimized on one phrase. This is unnatural. This is unusual. This is like Google is the traffic cop and everybody else is just going down the highway. You are going in the red sports car at 90 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic. You are sending a huge signal to Google, I am manipulating my link portfolio. So if you put your website into Open Site Explorer or Ahrefs and you see that heavy over-optimization, what do? Okay, if you haven't been caught, good. Start building links that are more natural. Build some links that say, this is a great company. Build some links that say, click here. Build some links that say, better rates on mortgages. Get some diversity into these links before you get pushed around by Penguin. Okay, so that's one way. And what's another way to find out where you stand? Webmaster Tools. You should all be signed up for Webmaster Tools. Google has done a lot of really important stuff in the last year trying to reach out to the web community. And again, I'm a cynic. I don't believe everything that they tell us. I don't believe that they love SEO because they love AdWords, right? But by signing into Webmaster Tools, they will give you information on your website. So I just want to show you. So sign in. I'm going to look at our corporate website. Go over here to search traffic, links to your site. And they will tell you what people are linking to get to your website. And you can see here, our regular website is pretty good. We don't have just zillions of links that are all over-optimized on one or two phrases. And you can see we have pretty good diversity in our links from sort of a Google perspective. So this is another way in Webmaster Tools, do a checkup right before you lose your job because the boss comes to work saying your site has been destroyed. Do a checkup and look at what the anchor text is for your links, and you can do that in Webmaster Tools. Again, sign into your Webmaster Tools account. Go back to Webmaster Tools main screen here. Sign into your Webmaster Tools account. Drill down. Go over to search appearance. I'm sorry, my bad. Search traffic, links to your site, and then pay attention. This is a clue. Google's talking about how sites are linked to you. Look at your website versus others. Are you the red sports car that's driving, 80 miles an hour? If you are, throttle it down a little bit. Throttle it down a little bit, okay? Now, what else can happen? Let's look at Google Analytics. Now let's talk about the dramatic drop. And we had a dramatic drop. This is why it's sort of fun what we do. We had a dramatic drop because we had a manual penalty applied to us. We drove a little bit too fast. The police guy pulled us over, and we were like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, we're going a little too fast? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, here's the dramatic drop. Look at this dramatic drop. This was the manual penalty. We restructured our website, and now we've recovered, and we have different web portfolios. This is what you'll see. This is your sign in Webmaster or in Analytics. Uh-oh, we've been pulled over. Not the end of the world to be pulled over. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can recover, but it happens, and you want to be aware of it, what's going on, and you see that dramatic drop in Analytics. That's from a manual penalty. That's from a manual penalty, okay? So Penguin, the don'ts here are the blog networks, the over-optimization links, and we'll talk a little bit about this whole competitor angry issue in a second. Let's talk about Panda, the other update that's been coming along. Panda's not as dangerous. Panda is, I call Panda revenge of the English teacher. Panda is attacking badly worded content. I have some examples for you of badly written content. Okay, so let's look at this content. So this is a blog network. The blog network is creating links. There's this person who maybe he's either a fake person or he really is a bad writer. I'm not sure which. Now, read out loud what's on this blog, okay? The bigger picture of this question is, what is internet marketing? Simply, it's marketing a business online via website where you're looking forward to stimulating your constituents to select your goods and services over the competition. Okay, if you read this aloud, you realize he's crazy, right? It's a crazy, crazy, crazy written content. It uses strange words, the word structure is bad, it violates grammar. This is what Panda is really attacking, is low quality content. Okay, I have some tools here, Grammarly and Proofbot. If you have hired someone, and let's be honest, you did not spend very much money on that person, and maybe they're not a native English speaker, and I love people who are not native English speakers. I used to live in Hungary. I lived there for 2-3 years. I know how difficult it is to speak another language. But if they're not native English speakers and they're writing a website and the website is not very well written, you could be in trouble with Panda. If you're using article spinning, which is where somebody writes one article and then it gets rewritten over and over and over again, this is an example of Panda danger. So read this guy out loud, and it's bizarre. And if you think that Google is not smart enough to run websites through grammar checkers, right, you're crazy. They run the website through grammar checkers, and this gets to the positive. We've got to create better content. Revenge of the English teacher. Subject, verb, object, natural syntax, clusters of words that people actually use in real life. That's what Panda is attacking. It's attacking low-quality content, especially article spinning, but also badly written, resyndicated, duplicate content. And they're more aggressive than ever. Now, Panda, what are the don'ts here? Low-quality writers, stealing contents, article spinning. Now, I put in here, I eat bamboo, penguins eat live fish, right? Get the difference? Penguin is much more dangerous, much more difficult to deal with. Panda is really an attack on just stupidity, bad writing. So it's not as dangerous, but it is out there. Let's talk a little bit about negative SEO. So Penguin and Panda had a baby, and the baby is called negative SEO, and this is coming, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I just watched a video yesterday by Matt Cutts, and he was talking about no-follow links, and he implied in there, oh, your competitors complain about you. They have set up a system where your competitors can go and complain about you to Google. Enough people complain, Google, if you're in trouble, you'll get a manual penalty. So this is like when you're driving down the road, right here in California, it says, report drunk drivers to 911. This is sort of the idea. We can now self-report, rat each other out to Google, and that's what negative SEO is. So let's look at that. Now, how do you know? First of all, inside of Webmaster Tools, let's look back in Webmaster Tools. You should all sign up for Webmaster Tools. You should all turn your alerts on. When you log into Webmaster Tools, it will alert you that you are in trouble. It will alert you. This is a website we're only using sort of as fulfillment. I don't care that it's not on Google. the reason it's mad is it's saying you're not on Google. I don't want it on Google, but that's the sort of idea. Now let's look down here. In your Webmaster Tools, site messages, they will tell you you are now on the naughty list. So your competitor rats you out, you can get on a manual spam action. I kind of consider it a badge of honor, right? We were threatening enough that the little weasels had to go complain about us to Big Daddy Google, right? You could go on and on about what this tells you about Google's philosophy, that it should allow people to do this, but that's what's going on. Now, how do you do that? I have the tools here. There are tools in here to go object to a competitor. Now, I'm not recommending that you go put your competitors in here, but Google has enabled this functionality. There's also a way you can complain about a site that has unnatural links. So negative SEO, which did not really exist a year and a half ago or wasn't nearly as dramatic, this is becoming a bigger problem than it used to be. What's the takeaway here, right? Don't go boasting about how awesome your SEO is. Don't piss off your competitors so that they notice you and complain. It's kind of like, just chill a little bit about what you're doing, and that's where negative SEO is coming. At Webmaster Tools, very important so that you are alerted if you're on the naughty list. All right, so here's our takeaways on our don'ts. Penguin penalizes aggressive link schemes and over-optimized links. So just don't. Just stop it. Just stop being so greedy, right? Panda, right? Call up your high school English teacher. I had so many fantastic English teachers in high school, and I still hear their little voices in my head when I write sentences, right? So, homage to the wonderful English teachers I know you all had. Write better content. Manual penalties, watch out for those. Watch out for your competitors. This is coming, so be modest. Sign up for Webmaster Tools. Make sure that email alerts are turned on to Webmaster Tools. Log in every week, every month, and be aware of if you're on the naughty list. Because they are, to their credit, to Google's credit, I sometimes feel like a Google basher. To their credit, they're doing a good job at trying to alert people of what's going on in this sense. So they're trying to be traffic cop, and they are telling you, do not pass go, do not connect $200, you're in jail. So you can use that. All right, so now let's turn to the new opportunities, the positive things that you can do, right? So the trend where they're going is they're trying to encourage all of us people who write content, who manage websites, to create better, more natural content. So, I try to invest in stocks. I bought Facebook a year ago. Whoo, boy, that's exciting. So the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. So let's talk about trends. Okay, so let's talk about original content, right? Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, House of Cards, right? These are original content being produced in new formats. This is the trend, not just on the web, it's the trend on video. So think about creating original content on your website. So stop being so lazy and try to create interesting content that other people will want to read. And guess what? Google's going to reward you more than ever for creating interesting, original content. This was a great series, by the way. I don't know if you watched it. Highly recommend it. Let's talk about rich snippets, which is part of this. Rich snippets are coming in a big way. Microdata. The future of the internet is chicken soup, and let's talk about rich snippets. We'll go look at some snippets in a second. We'll talk about where these code changes are coming and why they're really important. Let's talk about Google+. This is another part of our dues, right? Google+ is pretty lame, okay? Let's be honest. It's lame, right? People don't use it in a huge way. It is not Facebook. It is not Twitter. It's not even Instagram, right? But it has a very rich daddy. So remember second grade, and you were like the cool kid, and you were in the front of the room, and you were sitting there in the front of the room and you're so cool, and in came the nerd person, that would be me, the nerd person, and they were just like, okay, who are we going to beat up at lunchtime, right? But then you realized, uh-oh, they have a rich daddy, they've got a great swimming pool, they have awesome birthday parties, they have every electronic gadget known to man. I better be nice to them, not because I like them, but because Daddy is awesome. Daddy has a lot of money. That's what Google Plus is. So we're going to talk about authorship, about the Google Plus One badge, Google Plus One badge, and Google Corporate, right? So I stole this meme. I did give credit. I love this. Created a meme with Google Plus as a Charlie Sheen as a little boy, like hashtag winning, right? So think about Google Plus as part of your do's. All right, and we're going to look at video. Let's talk about the to-dos first. Okay, so let's go and let's look at some of these things. So original content, I don't really have a magic bullet there. Just I put it on the list like, hey, note to self, note to team. Are we systematically creating informative original content for our blog, for our website, for press releases, infographics? What's our content marketing strategy? What are we doing in terms of content? Do we have a content marketing strategy to produce interesting content? If the answer is no, go create content. Okay, now let's talk about rich snippets. This is more structural elements. And let's talk about this. I gave a talk to the Northern California Book Publishers Association. Super, super smart, fun, wonky people in San Francisco that promote books, and we talked about the future of books, and I said, hey, you know the future of the internet? It's chicken soup, and let's talk about why. So let's do a search for chicken soup, and let's just notice what's going on here. Now, you want to be a Google detective. I teach everybody that takes my classes, stop and smell the flowers, stop and look. Look at what you see on a screen. Look at how this is such an interesting search result page, or a snippet, you know, a SERP snippet. Look here. Star, 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 rating 4.5. Look at this right here. Tells you the calories. Where is that? It has 115 reviews. Now open that page up. Open that page up and look at that page. Look at that page. Look at that, 115 reviews. Look at that picture. Oh, that looks good. I'll have to eat that for dinner. Look at that picture. Look at that picture. This is being communicated through rich snippets. So they're telling Google, hey, Google, this recipe has 115 reviews. It has 152 calories. It has a rating of 4.5. These are the site links which are being controlled through Webmaster Tools. That rich snippet is coming to your keywords. Google is more and more interested in authoritative websites that communicate to it things like ratings, things like the calorie count, things like the movies. Have you ever done a movie search like on Google? Right, just go to Google, type in, movies, and look at how you see this structured data coming out. You start to see structured data. Look at this right here. Like, let's leave. Let's go see Elysium. It's just down the road from us. That structured data is being driven by rich snippets. So I have a link for you because there's more than I could possibly explain. I have a tutorial that I did. This was for the book people, and it's about rich snippets, microdata, architecture, and I have sort of tips and links about how that is being enabled and how you can turn on those rich snippets so that you start to have pictures of your products, ratings of your products, show times of your products showing on your Google searches. This is really cool, and it's coming based on rich snippets based on schema.org. So do a search for chicken soup. Take this search into your boss and say, look, this is the future of where the web is going in terms of Google search, and we want to be ready for that future. To-do list, let's enable at least ratings. If you have ratings, maybe you have some other features that you can enable. That's through rich snippets, microdata. Okay, microdata. I also have a link to you wonderful article by SEO Gadget goes through all the gory details of how rich snippets work. Awesome article. This is, kudos to them. This is what you show to your web guy, and you say, this is what I want to show on our SERP results, our Google search results. So that's rich snippets, super important, coming in a big way. Okay, now related to rich snippets. Related to rich snippets. I always think about, like, what do they do in their meetings at Google, right? And they have a little meeting, and in the meeting they say, oh, we're really mad at all those crappy link schemes. Okay, action item, guys. Attack crappy link schemes. Okay, the Google search engine is really boring. We want to flesh it out with pictures and reviews and calorie counts. Okay, action item, let's enable authorship. So they're trying to improve Google. You want to not fight them, work with them. Pay attention to what they're doing and leverage what they're doing. Google Plus. How many meetings do you think occur at Google in which they go, gosh, those guys down the road, Facebook, have an awesome social network, right? Facebook, and ours sucks. How do we get Google Plus to grow? How do we get people to come on our lame social network? Just like the rich daddy would say, gosh, Junior keeps getting beaten up on the playground, and I'm tired of him getting beaten up. How can I help Junior? Okay, I'm going to enroll him in karate classes. That's long term. I'm going to throw an amazing birthday party at our amazing pool with free Nintendo games for everybody who shows, and that's how I'm going to try to help out my, little pathetic child. Same stuff is going on at Google around Google+. So what are the opportunities that they're trying to get for us? Now let's look at a Google search. And I want to show you want to be a Google detective. You want to pay attention to how things work. So let's look at this search. I just did a search for enhanced campaigns, which is what rolled out with AdWords. Start to notice people's picture. So here's Jenny Marvin, 148 circles. So those pictures, those have been around now for a couple years. You're seeing them more and more across searches. So they're like rich snippets. They're being driven by what? They're being driven by Google Plus personal account. So this is this guy's, David Moss, personal account on Google Plus. He only has 441 people in circles. It's pretty lame, right? That is getting that picture to show. I have a tutorial link for you. Think about, hey, who should be the spokesperson of our company? Let's get their picture to show on Google. How do we do that? We need to turn on Google Plus. We need to enable Google Plus at a personal level. The boss says, hey, nobody cares about Google Plus. And you say, look at these pages. Don't we want to be the person? Don't we want to be the person with the picture? Don't we want to be the person standing up? Don't we want to build up our blogs? We don't care if anybody ever clicks here, but they'll click on us more if we have our picture. So the takeaway here is Google Plus Personal is allowing that picture, I have lots of examples for that. I have a tutorial. Go through the tutorial. It's been around for a while. I've revamped it. I've revised it. It's very idiot-proof. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, how to start to get your picture to show on Google searches. Now, think about it from Google's perspective. I've got two websites that are competing to get to the top of something like, red women's shoes, right? Website 1 does not use Google Plus, does not like my little pathetic child that keeps getting beaten up. Website 2 is being nice to my kid, is being nice to Google Plus. It has a Google Plus corporate account. It has Google Plus personal enabled with pictures. It's got the +1. Who am I going to reward on search? Who's going to get the better search position? The person who is nice to my child or the person who is ignoring little Junior, right? Hello, come on. That's what you want to think about. So on your to-do list, let's talk about enabling Google Plus features. And let's talk about Google Plus features. So here's our corporate website. Here are the features that you want to enable. Your Google +1 button. Those allow people to vote that you're cool, that you're important. So on your to-do list for the fall, I know that you have so much copious spare time because it's the fall, right? Our phones are ringing off the hook. Okay, so you make a list, enable Google +1 button. I've got the link for you In the materials, I've got a link right to the Google Plus One button. You go to your web developer, I want this on every page. Boom, done. That's a way of signaling to Google, we like Google Plus. That's the Plus One button. What else do you do? On your corporate page, at a minimum, sign up for a corporate Google Plus account. Turn it on, enable it, try to get followers, right? We only have 152 followers on Google Plus. It's lame. People don't use it, right? But we're sending a signal out to Google. We're trying to help you grow Google Plus. I generally recommend just post the same stuff that you would post onto Facebook on Google Plus Corporate, and don't worry about it. It's not used in a big way yet. You're trying to send that signal out to Google, hey, we love you. And then finally, turn on Google Plus Personal. This is the one that has the most traction, the most legs. I have a couple thousand followers on Google Plus. It's pretty interesting. It's the one that gets the picture to show on relevant searches. Then start sharing content on Google Plus, and you've done a wonderful job doing what? Sending out a signal to Google that you like Google Plus, you're supporting. And where's this all going? Google is looking at websites and it's trying to make, let's just think about it from Google's perspective. It looks at a website like ours and it's able to see how many people have plus one the page. Does it have an active Google Plus authorship connection? Are the people who are writing content, do they have a lot of followers? Are they talking about the subjects? Does it have a Google Plus account? All of this authorship is substantiating that this is an important website. That's really, what does that remind you of? Links, link building. SEO from 5 years ago was all about link building. SEO in 3 years is going to be about social authority. So you got to start to get that social authority. Do your Google searches. Pay attention. Just do a simple Google search, like my most favorite search. Just do pizza. You're going to see the carousel. This is being driven by Google Plus. That's being driven. So it's a huge sign to you how important Google Plus is in this market. Pizza, it's like chicken soup. It's the foundation of the internet. It's the future. Pizza is the future. Chicken soup is the future. These are signs. Pay attention to Google Plus. Pay attention. Not because anybody uses it, but because Google likes it. Maybe somebody will use it. I like it. I think it's a great network. It's just, it's kind of like some of those shows on TV that nobody watches. Okay, a couple final things. Let's talk about video. Video just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So as I'm sort of trying to orient you guys, get you motivated, what are we going to do now? What's our fall marketing plan? Is video in your plan? What are you doing for video? There are some awesome uses of video that really help all sorts of websites. All sorts of websites. YouTube is our number 2 search engine. Number 2, it's bigger than Bing. The question is, what are you doing that's video oriented? So just some quick examples for you on video, right? Look at your Google searches. How to put on eyeshadow, and look at who shows up here. YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. So lots of your how-to searches, lots of your esoteric searches, they show up with video, and people want to watch videos. Think about SEO optimization of target videos. I had a client a while back this summer, facelifts in Miami. Let me just see if I can show you this. Facelifts in Miami. I loved this. This was like such a great example. Right? So you're thinking of getting a facelift. A lot of people will type in facelift Miami, facelift New Jersey, facelift, New York City. Here's a video that they named facelift Miami. So this is kind of silly, right? I mean, a facelift in Miami is not different than a facelift in Fort Lauderdale. But they named the video facelift Miami. That gets them on this page with a YouTube video that then promotes Leonard Hochstein, who I guess is a great facelift surgeon. The point here is that's one use of video, very valuable, very valuable. So we're kind of wrapping through our to-do list for the fall. Think about using video, and it can be used in ways that are kind of counterintuitive. Let me show you another example of video, which I just think is awesome use of video. More and more companies should do this. So here's Mary Alexander Law. Full disclosure, I have no connection to her. She just has an awesome SEO page. Land on her page. She's a personal injury attorney. Look at this video. Click on the video, and it's going to open the video. It's being bad here because I'm in Internet Explorer. It'll open that video and start that video. Why? Think about how it works. You do a Google search. You land here. You're very skeptical. Should I use this attorney? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to give them my name and my email. I'm not ready to take this step yet, but I'm going to do video because video is going to do what? Non-threatening introduction to the firm, why she's so awesome, why I should give her my lawsuit, right? Think about your user experience. Nobody wants to read this boring content on your website. Nobody wants to read it. It's too boring. Reading is hard. I want to watch a video. So video is a huge selling tool directly on the website. It's a huge selling tool on YouTube. The takeaway there is, are you thinking about video? If you're not, start thinking about it. If you are, think about ways that you can improve your YouTube. Okay, so this is our very quick, out of the box, don'ts and do's. Give you a laundry list to go back to your team and start to think, gosh, what are some new things that we could do to improve our performance? So from the do perspective, original content. So here's your takeaway. Here's your question. Are you creating original content? Are you thinking about content? Do you have a content marketing strategy? That is becoming more important than ever. Rich snippets. Go and look at chicken soup. When you do a Google search, look at pictures showing up. Look at breadcrumb trails showing up. Look at reviews showing up. Look at calorie counts showing up. Look at all those things showing up and then ask yourself, are we enabling rich snippets on our website? What are the action items that need to happen so that we can enable those rich snippets? So hugely important trend. Google owns Google+, right? Here's the duh. Right? I teach so many classes and trainings, and I love mentioning Google+, because you mention Google+ and people roll their eyes like, oh, this is so stupid. And then you say, who owns Google+? Google. Do you want to be at the top of Google? Yes. So why are you being mean to their baby? How is that going to work, right? Oh, so duh, turn on Google+. Do all the things you need to do to get Google+ going. Everything video, because people don't like to read, right? This is sort of the flip side of the shout out to my English teacher. I love to read. A lot of people don't. They like video. So people don't like to read. Enable video. It's a great way to start that customer up your sales ladder. So those are our do's and don'ts. Now let's sort of wrap up. I love the fall because I have an education bent in my mind. So it's like back to school, back to learning, back to work. You know, it's an exciting time of year. So let's sort of think of where we're going. So SEO, it's fun because it keeps changing, right? It would be so boring if it was the same. It's not. This is such a dynamic thing to pay attention to. So what's the flip side of something that keeps changing? Make a commitment to never stop learning. You have to keep learning to stay abreast of all these changes. You've got to make that part of your process. After this webinar, if you're doing any of the don'ts, urgent, go tell your team, watch out, let's evaluate. What are we doing? Make sure we're not driving 90 miles an hour in the red sports car. The do's, not as urgent, but as soon as you can. Are you doing Google+? Are you doing rich snippets? Are you doing YouTube? Think about those do's in a longer-term direction. So we're trying to build out all of our content. We're working really hard on YouTube. We got all this stuff linked to you from our website. Just click on the free tab. We're going to be coming out with a new webinar on Penguin in about 2 weeks. We're going to be starting our classes. Shameless pitch. If you haven't taken our classes, of course, they're awesome. So hopefully you can take those in October. We'll have just a few time for questions. Any questions I don't get to, I'll answer by email. I'll let Noelle take the mic and ask questions and comments from the audience.
Okay, thank you, Jason. So let's see, we do have a lot of questions. So let's see. I'm just going to read them as I see them. This person says, if I have content on site A and decide to move that content to site B, how can I avoid duplicate content penalties?
Okay, great question. So duplicate content, a lot of people are freaked out by duplicate content, and there's lots of sort of esoterica on duplicate content. First and foremost, where you get into your most trouble is where you have cookie cutter content. The same content, just very, very minimal changes. You see this a lot with cities and towns. People will roll out 8,000 pages for individual cities and towns. That's sort of a negative where you can get into trouble. Now, let's say you're moving content around. The answer is really, it's called a canonical meta tag. So you can use the canonical meta tag as a way to tell Google, this is the original content, this is the new content, this is where the content goes, this is the new link for that content. So that canonical meta tag is how you communicate to Google, hey, I've moved this around and here's the official location, but I still want to have duplication across the web. That stays in the good graces. So that's the answer to that question, canonical meta tag.
Okay, this person says, as far as links go, what about internal optimized links on our own pages? Is that don't or do's that just refer to inbound links from others?
Yeah, that is such a great question. I'm so glad that you asked that because it's a very important new distinction. So what are we talking about here? And this is what's so exciting about SEO is, the gray areas, right? So external optimized links would be Progressive builds link after link after link that says auto insurance quote. But internal optimized links, homepage, homeowners insurance, down to the landing page with subpages also optimized around a key phrase. Here's my thinking. I don't think Google's going to penalize you for internal optimization. In fact, I still think they're going to reward you because it's your own website. It's not a cross-link from progressive.com to somebody else. It's internal, so it's not like it's a scheme in terms of link building. You're just doing humans and Google a favor by saying, look, land on this web page. These are our primary products, and they are also our primary keywords. So actually, I think link optimization on page is as important or more important than ever, but link over optimization off page, other websites, is dangerous. So that's a great question because this is a new kind of fine distinction. Think about drawing a line here between your off-page external websites. We clear that up. So external websites that link into Progressive, I want link diversity. I want some keywords, branded links, naked links, etc. Internal links, I do not want a lot of link diversity. I want optimization. Excellent, important point to really, give that person an A+, Noelle. That's an excellent question.
Duly noted. Okay, this person says, we have two competitors using questionable SEO tactics who consistently beat us in the organic rankings. Our SEO company insists that because the other two also pay for AdWords and we don't, that Google is looking the other way regarding their transgression. So in other words, Google isn't making any money off of their company, so why not give an organic preference to their competitors who are providing them with money? Is that possible, or is that just sort of myth?
Who knows? I don't think that unless you're spending millions of dollars, I don't think that there is any connection between your AdWords performance and your organic performance. So in that sense, I do give Google credit. I do think they do a pretty honest job of separating AdWords advertising from organic results. And so I don't think that is that likely. What often happens is the people who do well on AdWords, they're motivated, they have good keyword lists, they're focused on their SEO strategy, So they're doing better on both tracks. That's common because they're more focused. And then, here's sort of the dirty trick is if you think that they're doing things that are, against these policies, there are ways that you could go and you could complain about a website. You can say, oh, this website is buying links, selling links. You can go and say, look, their website is still showing up, Google, but it should be penalized. I'm not saying to do that, but that opportunity does now exist, and it is much advanced from what it used to be. So you could do a positive thing, try to improve your SEO. You could do a negative thing. You could attack them, especially if they're doing things that are a little not kosher. I don't think the AdWords per se has much impact on SEO. I think Google is pretty honest about separating those two tracks.
Okay, this student says, in January, my traffic dropped by over half since January, and I found 25,000 links into the website that I didn't know about. What should I do? It looks like a lot of the links to our content is from blogs.
Yeah, so that's where if you had a bad link profile, you're in trouble. And again, repairing a penguin penalty is more difficult. Think about, and I love analogies, right? Think about driving 85 miles an hour down the freeway. Once you get pulled over, you're talking about a $500 or $600 fine, take driver's ed, etc. The best thing to do is not get pulled over, right? That's by far the most important thing to do. So if you're not in trouble yet, watch out for link diversity. If you are in trouble already, then you have to recover from a penguin penalty. This is one of the tools that is used. Again, that's very technical. Don't just go willy-nilly do this. But there are ways to get out of a penguin penalty if you're in there. We don't really specialize in that. I do help some companies with it. It's a very technical process, and it depends, were you driving 80? Were you driving 100? Were you drunk? I mean, there's different degrees of being penalized. So if you have that problem, the search to look for is something like, recover from penguin, and you're going to see searches that talk about how you recover. So you have a recovery issue, it sounds like. And, for most of us, fortunately, I'm trying to prevent you from getting in the doghouse in the first place.
Okay, kind of staying with the link issues. There's a lot of link questions. Okay, this person says, you've said not to hammer one keyword or group based on same keywords in incoming links. What if you hammer, say, 15 keywords in incoming links to 15 pages on one site? Will doing this have the same negative effect, or is that okay?
Oh gosh, we get very, very, very esoteric questions. I think what I kind of see tea leaf reading here is, you need link diversity, and there's some quantity aspects as well. If you have a lot of links, then I think you can actually get away with, micro-targeted, you can have your top 10 keywords, and they're sort of in there amidst a lot of other links, a lot of naked links, a lot of branded links. So the way I think about it is look at your website, decide your maybe no more than 10 keyword themes, build your link portfolio around those keyword themes, and as you're building links, get a good, healthy dose of naked links and branded links, your company name, so that those embedded links are clustered amongst a lot of just more neutral links. And then I think you'll be fine. None of this is perfect, set in stone, because, what is Google's official policy? You should do nothing, right? What's the official policy of the government? We should all drive the speed limit. That's the official policy. What's the reality? Everybody speeds. And we all know you can go, 5 miles faster than the speed limit, you'll be fine. 10 miles, man, not so much. So it's the same idea. The official policy, none of this is okay. The reality is, little manipulation. So no easy answer on that one.
Okay, this person wants to know, how many people does one need to have in circles to get a photo to show up in a search?
Yeah, okay, so what we're talking about here is this whole showing your picture, and they move this around a little bit. They actually it looks like they just changed it so it doesn't show on home pages very much. Now, the best answer is always go and look. This lady only has 109. I've seen a lot of people 10 followers, 5 followers, and their picture will show. So right now, especially if it's not a real competitive search, if you're in a very niche search, what I have found is they're pretty lenient. 3 people, 4 people, something like that can show. It's more about turning it on, doing the correct enabling, which I explained in my tutorial, and then you'll show. Again, they realize a lot of people are using Google Plus, so right now the threshold is pretty low on the picture. Maybe time for one more, Noelle.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Hold on one sec. I'm going to put you on hold for one sec. Okay, let's see. How do you grow your Google Plus network and circles to increase your ratings? What's the best way to find people in Google Plus?
Yeah, okay, so that's a great idea, great and very important question. So how do you grow your circles, right? So I'm going to shamelessly ask all of you, go follow me on Google Plus, and I try to share interesting things. Like yesterday I shared, it's hilarious, it's Amazon's compilation of the craziest reviews on Amazon. So get your stuff set up. In that sense, very basic content marketing. Share interesting things to your community. Like I share information on SEO, social media, AdWords on Google+. Hopefully people follow me or circle me on Google+, and off I go. So the first sort of basic point is, share interesting content, and then, cross-post. I cross-post a lot of this to Twitter and build followers in that way. Secondly, you can think shamelessly here. I got my first, 1,000 followers on Google Plus by when I came out with one of my books. I said, look, follow me on Google Plus and I'll give you a free copy of my book. And I just made it very shameless. Follow me on Google Plus, and in exchange I gave you the book. Again, unlike, say, Facebook, Google is much more look the other way on schemes to drive up Google Plus followers. So think about giving away something for free, an ebook or free consult or something, and then using that to drive your original follower base and then build it up. It actually is a really good social network. It just isn't heavily used. And then share interesting content. So Noelle will wrap us up with more information on other things that we're doing. I want to thank everyone for showing up, and I'll answer all the questions by email.
Okay, we are out of time, but I do want to thank everyone who attended today's continuing education webinar. Any questions that were unanswered, and there were actually a lot of really good questions, Jason will get to those by email. Our next continuing education webinar will be on September 27th, and it's going to be on SEO-friendly link building post-Penguin. Now, our paid training series on SEO begins October 1st, with the first class being on keywords. And of course, this is the first of our 7-course series on SEO. We have also newly revised our ever-popular free top 10 SEO tools for Google and Bing, and the next free session will be on September 26th. So you can find out more and sign up for any of these classes by going to our website at jm-seo.org. So as always, if you have questions, please email us or give us a call. Reach out to us where our contact info is on the screen, and we're always happy to help you out with anything that you need. So do reach out to us. I want y'all to have a great rest of your day, and thank you, Jason, and we'll see you all at the top of Google.
Bye-bye.
Bye.